Here we are at question 23 of LSAT PrepTest 157, second section, first logical reasoning section from lawhub.lsac.org. As always, if you don't have one selected already, pick a highlight color to use during the course of this problem. And we will begin reading with the question stem. Which one of the following principles, if valid, most helps to justify the filmmaker's argument? So we're going to just highlight principles and justify the filmmaker's argument, hopefully recognizing that a principal justification type question task is really nothing more than a fancy strengthen. So we're going to have to read the filmmaker's statements, identify the filmmaker's conclusion, highlight that conclusion, and broadly predict what might strengthen that conclusion before going to the answer choices and cross-checking them against that mental prediction and finding distinct reasons to eliminate as we go. So reading the filmmaker statements, I use hidden cameras when filming documentaries because people behave differently when they are aware of being filmed. Although my subjects have been told that a camera is present, they remain unaware of its location and act naturally. Hence, my documentaries are more worthwhile than documentaries in which, for example, people speak directly to the camera. So we've got to highlight that final statement. Hopefully, it's not hard to identify the conclusion here. And we want to track how the evidence leads to the conclusion that this filmmaker's documentaries are specifically more worthwhile than others where people speak directly to a camera and are therefore aware that they are being filmed. So we're going to go to our answer choices, trying to find something that says that this idea of acting naturally is necessary for a more worthwhile documentary. So going to choice a documentary with no purpose other than authentically depicting the behavior of its human subjects can be legitimate. Legitimate? I don't see the word legitimate. What is a legitimate documentary? I have no idea. This is a term that is absolutely not defined within the context of the argument, so we can eliminate choice A for that reason almost immediately. Next, choice B, a documentary can be authentic only if it does not include any subjects speaking directly to a camera. Well, we don't need this to be the only way it can be authentic. And furthermore, the filmmaker isn't concerned with authenticity. The filmmaker is concerned with these documentaries somehow being declared more worthwhile. So this is the wrong metric of evaluation, and we can eliminate choice B for that reason. Next, choice C, makers of documentaries do not have a moral obligation to reveal to their subjects the location of the cameras filming them. A moral obligation? There's nothing about morality in the filmmaker statements. So choice C can be eliminated for that reason, as needing additional information to directly relate it to like whether or not a moral documentary is more worthwhile. Then choice D, the more authentically a documentary depicts its subjects, the more worthwhile it is. There's the word we were looking for. Ding, ding, ding. The correct answer has to be D almost immediately once we see the proper term after evaluating A through C. Of course, you are probably going to want to check all of the choices. So if we look at E, subjects of documentaries should not try to discover the locations of the cameras filming them. Okay, well, we don't actually talk about the subjects really being all that involved in the filmmaking process and like whether or not they want to discover the locations. It doesn't even tell us if they actually do or if that's going to make the documentaries more worthwhile. So we need a lot more additional information to connect choice E to that conclusion, whereas D almost immediately, because of that specific term worthwhile, should stand out as the correct answer.